Did you know that Victor de Leon III, famously known as Little Poison, is the world's youngest professional video gamer of all time, at only 11 years old? You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the TheXboxHub.com. For all the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos, and opinions, make sure you visit the TheXboxHub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello and welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode 106. My name is Gareth Briley. I'm going to be your host, and on my virtual left is Mr. James Burks. How are you doing, James?
I'm pretty good. That was a great introduction.
It was good.
Number
I was overexcited about 106. I don't know why.
Wait till we get to 180. Look forward to that one.
I'm good, thanks, James. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good. And my virtual right is Mr. Paul Renshaw. How you doing, Paul?
I am doing very well, Gareth, thank you. I was concerned with that intro. It sounded like you'd forgotten what your name was.
Do you know what?
I was thinking, this is going to go well.
What I did is I started it off and I thought, I'm quite low energy. And then I ramped it up too much for 106. I think the balance was completely wrong.
And you overshot.
I overshot. I did overshoot. So I apologise to all our four listeners. I won't do that.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, we've got 4 now.
We got 4. So we won't be like that next week. Right, let's talk about what we've been doing this week. James, what have you been up to?
I mean, a nightmare week. My laptop finally kicked the bucket, completely died on me. I had to buy a brand new one, which isn't great in this time of year. Very expensive. But the new one's got shiny lights. That's good.
Good.
That's all I need. Shiny lights. It's very quiet.
Ah, there you go, yeah.
Is it Windows 11?
It is.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Getting used to it.
Oh, I hate it compared to the Windows 10. I used to hate Windows 10 now. So eventually I'll get used to it. But yeah. So that was the bad part of it. But then it's December. It's nearly Christmas. And it's Advent calendar time.
Oh.
Have you both got Advent calendars?
No.
Yes, absolutely.
But
Come on, Gareth. Don't pretend you're grown up.
I explained to you in a minute why I haven't got mine.
All right. Well, Paul, what have you got?
I have got, I'll just grab hold of it so I can give you the full name, a Funko Pop vinyl, pint-size Heroes 5 Nights at Freddy's Advent calendar.
I love it.
With 24 little Funko Pop vinyl figures in, which is groovy.
I think we just became best friends.
Excellent.
Good. There you go. Advent calendars for James. What about you, Paul? What have you been doing?
What have I been doing? Well, I've had a very exciting week. So far this week, I've been to Leeds and to Manchester to visit various stores and fix all their issues. Today, it was the Electrical Safety Network Conference at the Odeon in Leicester, which I managed to stay at for an entire hour and a half before I got a phone call from the wife saying, I'm having a funny turn at work. You're going to have to come and pick me up.
Oh.
So I rushed out of the cinema. I'm sure they were all delighted. Rushed over to the airport. And this is where the story takes a very annoying turn. She couldn't quite tell me where I needed to go in order to pick her up. And there are signs all over the airport saying, if you stop, we will fine you £100. So I was like, I don't really want to be fined £100. So I pulled into the short stay car park, stayed there for 7 minutes in order to find her and sling her in the car. And it cost me £7. £7 for 7 minutes parking. I think I about fell over. But, apart from that, she's on the mend now.
Good.
She's spent all day in bed. I've worked from home so I could keep an eye on her. And, that's all great. But, the thing to take away from this is that East Midlands Airport parking charges are ridiculous.
Oh, wow. Wow.
There we go.
There you go. That is mad.
A pound a minute. I couldn't believe it.
London prices.
It pretty much is, isn't it?
Oh, wow. I've got a story about East Midlands Airport. I'll tell you another time, and not today. What have I done this week? Oh, well, I've had this week from last weekend. My other half, Bernadette, she's got COVID. So we've had now a week of separation in the house. So Bernadette's got the sort of bedroom, hall, kitchen area. I have the living room. So we've been separate, which has been quite hard. But I have been watching a series that I don't think Bernadette would watch. I did, for some reason, put it on, and it was a series I heard a little bit about called Arcane. It's on Netflix. Arcane, League of Legends, and I think it's based on the League of Legends game. I've got no idea. So I thought, I've heard some good things about it. It's a 9-part series. And it's this kind of adventure set in a kind of almost like a steampunk world. There's technology mixed with those kind of other things. And it follows a story, first of all, of 2 younger sisters who are kind of like street urchins, sort of like thieves for the underworld, and there's a level at the top as well, and the top world is trying to discover this kind of arcane, the magic, these 2 scientists, and something terrible happens that I won't go into, and then the 2 sisters are separated, and then it goes forward in time. 2 things to say: it's some of the best animation you'll ever see, ever. It's really brilliantly drawn. It's almost along the lines of some of the Netflix. Do you remember those graphical series? I can't remember what they're called. All different animations.
Cartoons.
No, the Netflix did it. Almost like Blade Runner type stuff. Anyway, so they've.
It's Living Robots.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, they've done that. It has that kind of quality to it, but also the cutscene, direction, and the acting is just superb. It's really, really good. And if you like games and you like that kind of fantasy world, if you like, it really reminds you of the Dishonored universe. Completely reminds you of that. Just the way the designers of them look. It surprised me. It's a really good watch. I think I've got about 3 episodes left, but that's kept me going. Arcane, League of Legends. Ooh.
Hello. Just on the watching TV theme, while we've got one, can I also say I've been watching on Amazon Prime the adaptation of the Wheel of Time series of novels. And the only thing I will say about it is I've got all, I don't know how many books are there, 13, 14 maybe, on my shelf, and I have read them multiple times. I absolutely love the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
And I am now banned from speaking to the wife while it's on, because all I ever do is say, that's not in the book. That's not in the book. So I'm only allowed to say, I can say it once, and that's when the program is finished. So we can watch it, and then I can say, this was wrong, this was wrong, this was wrong, this was wrong.
Wow. You make notes?
I do, absolutely. Yeah, I want to make sure that I get all of the points across. And I hate that I'm turning into one of these sort of, nerds about the book and everything. But
embrace it.
I'm trying to, but my wife is trying to dissuade me. Anyway, off we go.
But you enjoy it,
and I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it is quite good. I'm taking it at face value now. It is what it is. It isn't a line-for-line adaptation of the books, but if it was going to be, there'd have to be, about 3.5 years worth of episodes, I think. Right. So it would be daft. And I have one more thing I've just thought of, and it's especially for James. Sorry, I do feel like I'm rabbiting on. But Babymetal.
Yeah.
Are you aware of this?
I am.
I was not aware of Babymetal's body of work, and now I've been listening to it, and it is just absolutely ridiculously awesome.
Would you explain to Gareth what it is?
I don't want to know. No, I do. Go on, tell me.
To know.
Tell me what it is.
Babymetal is a Japanese metal band where they have like the heavy metal music, sort of like Metallica, that kind of stuff. And then they have these ridiculously squeaky voiced Japanese girls singing over the top of it. And it is brilliant.
It
What's
is.
the most famous one? Is it Gimme Chocolate? Is that the most famous track?
That's the one.
Yeah, have a listen. Have a listen to it. It is fantastic. So there we go. Anyway, right, I'll shut up now.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll do that. Let's get on to games. After this Japanese heavy metal and
it's all about the Japanese heavy metal this week.
Safety conferences. Let's go into James. What have we been playing?
Well, I'm playing it for a week or two now. It's a game I'm reviewing called Path of Giants. And it's a puzzle game. And even though it's a single player, it's a game about teamwork. You're in control of 3 different explorers who are on a quest to find some treasure. So you've got to navigate through an icy world. And the idea is you've got to use the characters to boost each other up steps and counterbalance pulley mechanisms, press buttons and things like that. And you've got to switch between each of the characters and just make your way across the level any way you can, really. And it's really relaxing and it's not too difficult. And every single level ends with a Pipe Mania style puzzle.
You love a Pipe Mania spot, don't you?
I do. And these are so easy. But I am quite an expert, so that's probably why. But yeah, it's calming, relaxing, but logical. It doesn't frustrate you. And it might only take about 4 hours to complete, but it's £7, so it's just about right, I think. It's a nice, calming puzzle game.
I'm looking at the pictures now of it. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
What did you give
questions? I'm going to give it a 4, I think.
Oh.
Because the review's not out. Well, it'll be out by the time you listen to this.
Right.
But yeah, I think I'm giving it a 4. We'll see.
What would you compare it to if you had to? Had a gun at your head. Not that you've got a gun at your head.
Please put the gun away. I'll tell you, don't shoot. It's hard to compare it to anything. But, I mean...
Remember you got the gun at your head?
Teamwork.
He's just cocked it.
The teamwork thing, I suppose, is a bit like shift rings. I don't know.
Okay.
Or lemmings. I don't know.
Right.
It's very much a thing of controlling each aspect to make them work for each other. Yeah, so it's a nice game.
Good.
I like it.
I'll uncock the gun now and put it gently back on the table.
Step away from the firearm.
We need to be here in 10 minutes. Wrap up quick.
Paul, what's your first game you've been playing?
My first game, I'm going to talk about a game called Chorus, which is quite hard to explain. Basically, you're nailed into a spaceship. You very, very rarely get out of said spaceship. And you have to explore this galaxy, and there are various missions and side missions and people to talk to, and it's almost like a spaceship RPG in a way. It's almost like the closest thing I can liken it to is like an Assassin's Creed game, where you get the map and there's missions all over the place and you can go and choose what it is you want to go and do.
Right.
Mix that with interstellar space travel and dogfights between spaceships, and you're about there. It's really, really good. I'm very much enjoying it. It's big. There's a lot to do. The mechanics are good. The person you play as has got special powers, especially when something happens in the story that I'm not going to talk about. But then you can unlock things called rights that allow you to do different things. So there's one right that will allow you to sense things around you, and there's another right that will allow you to teleport behind an enemy so you're in the perfect place to shoot them. And it's very, very good. The voice acting is superb. It looks fantastic. The draw distances are, if you'll pardon the pun, to the moon and back. It's great. It's very hard to explain why it's great, but the feel of the flying of the ships, the combat, the way that it all hangs together is very good indeed.
Great. I've got
There you
questions.
go.
James, do you mind if I ask my questions first?
You go for it.
Is it a dogfighting game? Is it like a space dogfighting game, like Star Wars Squadrons, for example?
That's not all it is.
Okay.
There is a lot of that. But, I mean, just to give you an example from the game that I've played so far, you have to go to a temple to unlock one of these rights. So then there's a lot of exploring and flying around little thin corridors and trying to escape from nasty monsters and stuff. And then you have to get used to the mechanics of the things. One of the things the spaceship can do is called drift. So as you fly along, you hit the button and it just keeps the ship in the same orientation, and you can then kind of free aim it and shoot things. So there's gates, crystals almost, that you have to shoot in quick succession, and the only way you can do it is by drifting around this corner, shooting one and then shooting the other. So yeah, there's a lot more to it than just dogfighting, but there is quite a lot of that. Because obviously we're the goodies and we have to get rid of the baddies.
And do you ever get out of the ship at all?
Only in cutscenes so far.
Right, okay, I'm with you. Fine. And my last question is: this was a Series X trailer, wasn't it? This is one of the games that they kind of highlighted in that trailer back maybe about a year ago. Is it on Series X and Xbox One? Is it both?
I don't know. Is the short answer. Okay. It's flagged on my Xbox as XS, but whether that's because mine's a Series X, I don't know. But it didn't. You know how sometimes you'll download a game and it'll say there is a better version and give you the Series X version.
Yeah.
It didn't do that this time. It just straight downloaded the X version. Okay. So it might well be XS only. I'd have to check.
Okay, great, good. Looking forward to that. That's out. Today, if we're listening on Friday, isn't it? Hopefully
yes, it is.
Yeah. So great. And how much is that? Is it kind of full price game? Is it? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't deal with money. I'm not allowed.
I think it might be, or it might be nearer that price. I think. He says,
£40 mark, isn't it?
Trying to waste some time when he has a look.
Just Google quick.
I can't see.
I'll find it quicker.
I bet you will. I can't see it.
35.
Okay, 35.
There you go. I knew we could rely on games.
On Xbox One and Xbox Series X.
Oh, it is on Xbox One as well, is it?
Right.
Yeah. Excellent.
Good.
Thanks, James. Just a good job you're here.
That's good. Thank God for that.
Save the day.
A game I've been playing is Beyond a Steel Sky that I'm still playing at the moment. And it came out on the 30th of November. And Beyond a Steel Sky is a sequel to a game that came out, I think it must be 95, Beneath a Steel Sky. And Beneath a Steel Sky came out, maybe it was 96, 95. It came out, it was like a PC game. It had that cyberpunk feel to it. It's a point-and-click adventure. It was praised at the time. I remember I had it. It looked great. It created a really brilliant world. You enter a kind of city that's all cyberpunk, and you go on this kind of adventure with your sort of like AI friend, Joey. And this game is set a bit in the future, a bit later on, but it's the same characters. And there's this kind of big machine that's stealing children in the outlands away from the city, and you go investigating it. And then you try to get back in the city again and investigate what's happening. And it's great because it's still got its point and click roots. So it's, inventories, use this item with this, sort of quite hard kind of like ways of working stuff out. But it's in a completely sort of 3D world, if that makes sense. So normally still with these point and clickers, even the ones on Series X, it's still using the 2D or 2.5D. Well, this is completely in the 3D world. You're kind of roaming around. It looks really good. I think it came out on PC maybe 2020. And it's kind of enjoyable to be back in that kind of like world again, where it sort of doesn't take itself too seriously. It's mixed with humour. It's mixed. It has that kind of Lucasy arts feel to it, which was big in the 90s. There, like really great adventure, really great world building, but it's not too po-faced, and it's always kind of winking at the audience. And this has that feel again to it, which is great. I'm really, really enjoying it. I think it's great. Really good fun. And have you two ever played Beneath the Still Sky?
No, negative. Was it on the original Xbox?
No, I don't think it was. I think it literally was PC.
In that case, no. In '95, I didn't have. The only thing I remember playing on a PC from that era was Dune 2, which was a Westwood Interactive RTS. But yes, no, I never played it.
Good. Well, give it a go if you're thinking. It's a fun time to come out. I mean, it's hard as well, because I don't think you should be put off. I think you can go into it without playing the other one, but there's some things I guess you'll miss. But it's by the people who did Beneath the Still Sky, and they did Broken Sword as well. So it's that kind of feel to it. Yeah. Sorry, James.
I think the 3D element of the world probably would entice me in. Because it's very rare to find that in a game of that genre.
Yeah. It has a really great a really great device as well. So you get this object that you can like a hacking machine. Yeah. So say you've got a door, a robot door that's kind of opening and shutting, and say the robot door is opening and shutting quite aggressively. That's its command, right? And you've got another robot that's delivering stuff, and it's doing it calmly. This is a calmly delivered thing. You can hack into both of them. It brings it up like a
switch
thing, and you switch the two commands over, and then they will do. And things like that. The hacking stuff is really good fun. Really good. Right. Yeah, that's really great. Really good. Good. Let's do it.
What is it, do you know?
God knows.
Oh.
God knows.
Thanks for that.
Sorry about that. We'll find out. Who's next? James, what's your next one?
Well,
maybe we just do two.
I got a new laptop this week, so I thought I'll download some games on Game Pass. And I installed Evil Genius 2, World Domination. Basically, you're an evil supervillain, and you have to create your own evil lair. So it's very much similar to 2-Point Hospital, obviously without that much humour. There's a little bit, but it's not really. It's more about taking over the world and hiring minions, train them up, make sure they've got somewhere to eat, sleep. So I'm not a monster, I'm just a villain. And you can build a criminal network around the world, and the key is to make as much money as you can to dominate the world, but also protecting your lair from attacks from the forces of justice. So you set up little traps in your lair in case you get any intruders. But it seems quite in depth. There's quite a lot going on. And so far it's enjoyable, but it definitely takes a lot of your time. You have to really invest time into it. To make sure everyone's happy. I think you're not losing money. Because, I mean, you've got to make some money.
Yeah.
To dominate the world, otherwise you end up with nothing. And your whole world will burn down. You don't want that, do you?
No, I don't want that.
So
it's like a 2-Point Hospital type sim game. You're building stuff.
Very similar.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
Very similar. But you are just an evil guy doing evil things. So
right up your street.
You know,
and
exactly.
I love it. I'm sure that everybody in the world wants to know the answer to this question, but are the minions that you can hire yellow?
And
are they quite short?
They wear yellow suits, They're not short.
They're not short. Do they talk nonsense and sing a song about a banana?
Unfortunately not. Because that would make it a
I
5-star
don't.
game.
I don't want it then.
I know, it is missing out.
Pulls
There's no
out.
fluffy unicorns.
That's it. I'm done. Yeah.
Good. And that's on Game Pass, isn't it? It's out now.
It is, and yeah, it's worth having a go. It's on Game Pass for PC and console, so it doesn't matter which you're playing on. You can give it a go.
Good.
Ooh.
Evil Genius 2. Paul, what's your second?
My second is going to be, I'm going to channel my inner Gareth here and go back to another game that first saw the light of day many, many moons ago with Bloodrayne 2 Revamped. Now, this was a game that was released in 2004, back in the day. And in those days, I thought it looked pretty good. But the guys that have redone it, they have made it clear that it isn't a remake and it isn't a remaster. So basically what you're playing here is a game from 2004. And
Right.
I'm looking at it thinking, what on earth was I thinking, looking at the graphics and thinking, those are about as realistic as graphics I'll ever get. It's not great, if I'm honest. It looks poor. I likened, when I wrote the review, I likened the look of the characters in the cutscenes that are rendered in engine. You know, when you want to wrap a football up in Christmas wrapping paper, you can never make it look quite right because you're taking a flat thing and trying to wrap a round thing in it. So that's what they've done with the faces on these
Right.
models. And it just looks like it looks like a bit of a dog's dinner, to be honest. The controls are poorly optimized. And yeah, I gave it a 2 in the end.
Oh, Paul. Okay.
So yeah, I was heartbroken to have to score a Bloodrayne game down, but time has not been kind to it. It's not going to make it onto the Game of the Year list. Let's put it that way.
Paul, what do I always say?
What do you always say?
Don't go back.
Know. Oh, sorry. I was going to say get the money first or something.
And that. Don't go back. Don't go back.
Don't go back.
Go back.
Yeah, never
Yes,
go back.
well, that is a valuable lesson learned there, that when Gareth speaks, the world should listen.
Good. We're not going to play that. None of us are going to play that. I mean, how's that? Why is that coming out now? How's that going to get anyone?
Honestly, I don't know.
Wow.
It's the weird thing was it was only released. It was re-released last year for the PC
Wow.
as Bloodrayne 2. I think it was. What was it called? I can't remember. It had another subtitle last year, and now it's come to consoles and it's revamped, but it's really not.
Fair enough.
Can I ask one question?
You can indeed, my friend.
Is it better or worse than the Bloodrayne film?
I haven't seen the Bloodrayne film.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely should.
I need to watch it. Have you seen it?
I have many years ago.
Did you ever
it
see
was-
the Dead or Alive film?
Oh, yes, I did.
So,
I actually
better or
enjoyed
worse?
I actually enjoyed that for all the wrong reasons.
Yes, I'm sure you did. For the great acting and the convincing martial arts, I'm sure that's why you enjoyed it. It's like watching
Exactly.
one of your Chocobo wrestling bouts.
Well, it's steady on there. Not real fun.
Good. Well, we won't be playing that. Now, the last one I'm going to chat about is a strange one, actually, because I thought I knew this was coming, and one of our friends reminded me they played it, and it's on the PlayStation 5, and it's an experience called Kid Amnesia. And basically, it's by developers and Radiohead, the famous band. And I don't know how to explain it really. They've kind of created this kind of exhibition, this art exhibition, that's kind of promoting their songs are in there, but it's kind of samples of the songs and maybe heading towards some new material. And you walk around this exhibition that's like this strange, unusual kind of world, which is kind of reflective of their music. So there's kind of like other figures are there, these shadowy kind of alien kind of figures are there in the exhibition. You go into certain rooms, there's like drawings that are moving. There's a psychedelic room of just images flashing past you. There's a pyramid right in the middle that you can get into, and then you get sucked into another world. And it's like an exhibition. You walk around and there's signposts saying the paper room or this room, and there's sort of like barcodes you can scan to get more information about those songs or the new work that's coming out. The reason I mention it, graphically, it's brilliant. It's unbelievably really good. It's probably one of the best this gen games I've played, which is just the way it is, the way it looks. It's beautifully designed, and maybe it's in a new engine. It feels completely, maybe it's in the new Unreal Engine, but probably not. Maybe it just looks unbelievable. And it's kind of interesting of someone like Radiohead just doing something a little bit different with that. The idea that you're going into an exhibition of work, like an art exhibition, but actually they're subverting that as well, and it becomes a kind of unusual, trying to get their music in there. And it's free. So you can go on the PlayStation 5 at the moment, download it for free. You can spend a couple of hours in there, or maybe less, and it's really worth it. I'd really recommend it. It's it's really, really, really interesting, and it's interesting to see.
A great marketing tool.
Oh, it's a brilliant marketing tool for them.
Yeah,
unbelievable. But I think knowing the Radiohead, not I know them, but knowing their kind of video work and their kind of interesting work, they are really always been quite on the. They've always been interested in experimentation. They've done some brilliant. Tom York's done some brilliant stuff with kind of dance and video and stuff. So it's kind of they're always trying to push something. So it's well worth a look. Even if you might hate it, it's still worth a look. Yeah, definitely worth a look.
Was it Radiohead? I would. Anyone decent like Babymetal.
If it was I was about to say, if there was a Babymetal version, we'd be all over. But Radiohead, nah.
Got the wrong two people on the podcast.
You said that before.
I've said that before. No, it's good. It's good. It's interesting. Really have a go. Right. There's not much news, but we're just going to talk about a couple of things because Paul's got a quiz for us, which is great.
Yeah, and I've spent 20 minutes on it, so...
Brilliant. It's better than I normally do. Okay, so we're going to talk about... There's a few little things. Starfield, we're starting to get I think we're going to be getting this forever now, all throughout the year till next November.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting to kind of have conversations. There's a kind of nice sort of video when they're talking with the main people about their thoughts. There's concept art. It's getting leaked. And their ideas about, trying to give hints about what this is really, which they're not saying yet, I don't think at all, are they? Is that fair to say? They're sort of like giving quite cryptic clues about it. What I was kind of interested in was the statement when it's a universe, not just a game. And I think that's in regards to the detail they're putting into it, but also that kind of detail. I think also they're looking at something like Skyrim, which they were talking about as well in the thing, and saying, okay, Skyrim's still got this life 10 years on, and people are still playing that game or repeating playing that game and seeing things in that world that they've not seen before. Something fresh has happened, and of course some mods that have gone on top of that. And I think that's probably a bit of an ambition for this as well, especially since it's a space game it's in their universe. I think it's going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be really fascinating. Are you two excited about this, Paul?
I am, but I don't know. I kind of get the feeling like the game's too far away to start getting so excited about as a lot of people seem to be doing. There's a lot of time between now and when it actually comes out. Is it 22 it comes out?
November next year.
Yeah, November. Yeah. So we've got another year yet. Yeah. And, I feel like if they keep releasing all this stuff, oh, look what we've done, look what we've done, look what you can do. By the time the game comes out, everybody's going to be sick of it. I think they could probably do with dialing it down a bit, maybe. I mean, I'm all for keeping the public profile high of the game, especially if there's going to be some kind of multiplayer built into it, which you would say it's ideal for. Flying around and with your mates and everything, that would be pretty cool. But
I think it's a single player only, Paul. I don't know why I think that. I think they were quite.
See, I had it in my head that it was as well, but you'd think in a universe that big, there'd be room to play with friends, wouldn't you?
But
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because I think it's creating that universe and creating that world and that narrative that goes with it. When you get a load of mates in,
they just charge around, crashing into
and like jumping on each other, just being James really. When we were playing
just jumping up and down and teabagging it,
trying
just
to kill
being
you,
Halo all over again.
Yeah, it's not something you kind of want. I know, I agree with you, Paul. I think you're absolutely right. I think we'll probably see a big kind of like gameplay reveal in May or June next year, won't we? That's going to be the big thing. So we get an idea how it feels. And then it'll be delayed till 2025. No.
But it'll win Game of the Year at the Game Awards in 2022, even though it's not out. So,
James, do you feel the same?
I was quite impressed with the supposed level of detail they're going to put into it. I mean, the art itself, I think there's a picture of like a street market. And it's those kind of places that will give the world character. I think exploring those areas will interest me more than doing like quests. I just want to see what they've got to offer, you know. I think there's a space food as well. I thought it looks really cool, and it's the kind of detail that will just really capture your interest. And as long as the gameplay is decent, I'll be more than happy to jump straight in.
Yeah.
We've put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
I hope it pays off. It looks like they get in the right mindset to make it a long-lasting, like you say, like Skyrim.
And it's Series X only, isn't it? And Series X.
Yeah, and that will definitely help it.
Yeah.
I just hope we don't have another 12 re-releases in the next 10 years where you try and patch the bugs out of it and try and change things like Skyrim.
Yeah.
If you can avoid that, that'd be great. They're on the right path otherwise.
Good. Something interested me this week, and as I said, it's been quite slow, is the... basically, there's been a lot of problems with Activision and Blizzard with their awful allegations of harassment, just seems to get worse and worse. But Call of Duty Vanguard, which I reviewed, and I really enjoyed. I thought the campaign was great, but it hasn't done well in sales. Same with Battlefield. Battlefield struggled at some point on Steam when Farming Simulator 22 had more people online than it did Battlefield. Only for a short period of time, but it was like, they've both struggled a bit. And so they did this survey, and they were sort of basically asking about Call of Duty. Why haven't you bought it? And I thought it was quite interesting. There was 55% of people said they were too busy playing other games already. 34% of them said they've played too much Call of Duty lately. 14% said they were already happy with Warzone. And 11% said they were waiting for another game to play, like Battlefield or Halo. And then it goes down to put off by reviews, 20%, 4% not interested in World War II games, 24% not interested in World War II games, 6% because of Activision Blizzard's treatment of employees.
6%. Jesus.
Yeah, and the community is full of cheaters, 3%. 2% thought the download side was too big. I think it's been very interesting that they've done this and they've released this, or has it been leaked, or I think they've released it. It's interesting when you kind of go forward, and we've been talking a lot about this recently about, these franchise games every year. Call of Duty, even though Battlefield's every 2 or 3 years, but also FIFA that me and James play. And we're having a problem at FIFA at the moment. We're on pro clubs and we can't get a game. it's the servers are mucked up, or there's not enough people playing it because of the split between the cross-gen Series X and X1. And do you think there's a fatigue now for these franchises that have been going for so long? Interesting. Paul?
Personally, yeah, I think it is. It's just got to be fatigue, hasn't it? I mean, I haven't really played a COD game since Black Ops 2. And I don't miss them, to be brutally honest. I can do without, screaming teenagers saying that they've had relations with my mother and this, that, and the other. And yeah, I mean, I personally, I'm suffering from COD fatigue, even though I've not played one since, like I said, Black Ops 2. It's just that the fatigue has lasted a very long time. I call it long COD syndrome.
Very good. Very good.
yeah.
Very nice.
So yeah, that's basically why I don't bother with COD. So,
but you just played Battlefield as well, haven't you? And you gave it.
I have played Battlefield.
You gave it a 3.5, didn't you?
I can see why people would play Farming Sim. Let's put it that way.
What about you, James? What do you think? Do you think there's truth in this?
Yeah, I think we've all, like Paul said, we've experienced it with COD and other games. It's a case of these games come out quite regularly and they don't really change that much. Especially in the online multiplayer. It's your team deathmatch. It's the people that will kill you with no-scope headshots. And you get thrown into the deep end every time a new game comes out. And it just makes it a little bit like, oh, not again. And you do get sick and tired of it, whether it's Call of Duty or Battlefield. I mean, even Assassin's Creed got the memo and gave it a break, didn't they, for a little while?
Yeah.
It came back a bit more.
They did try something completely different with it, yeah.
Exactly.
I remember me and James, and Battle Royale games are a two a penny, and there were games before PUBG, of course. I remember me and James, we played PUBG for the first time on the Xbox 2015. I remember we played the first game. We not played a Battle Royale, I don't think. And I remember that experience of going, "Oh, this is different here." We were quite tense, wasn't it? Before I think, because no one really knew what they were doing. And we were sort of stuck in the house, just looking out the windows for ages. Going, what's going on? Is it getting closer? And I think experiencing that, having that kind of change of something was really exciting. I think you're absolutely right. When you go into these games, you'll go, and also like we talked about briefly last week, everyone knows the maps, and everyone's really, really good.
Yeah.
And you haven't got a chance, and that's another problem, isn't it?
Yeah. Whereas in PUBG, on console, we all kind of got into it at the same time, didn't we? It was a fresher idea, not a brand new idea.
Yeah.
It was a fresh idea, and it just all felt different, and it felt like, oh, well, we might have a chance here. It made it more enjoyable. I mean, we didn't have a chance because we're terrible.
No, we're terrible.
But it felt like we were going to have a bit of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just Call of Duty being Call of Duty, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, I don't want to ruin too much time because we've got a quiz game, but quick one just on Game Pass. December, they kind of released their schedules. Of course, we've got Halo coming out next week. Among Us on the 14th of December, maybe the 16th.
Yeah.
There's a few good ones in Stardew Valley, Lawn Mowing Simulator, which I reviewed.
Aliens Fireteam.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the one.
Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, which I like the sound of. Yeah, some really great games coming out in December.
Isn't that one a sequel to the Dog Airport one?
Oh, yeah, must be. I like that.
I think it's the same developers.
Oh, I like that.
I think it's the same developers.
I love that.
I hope there's pictures of organs.
I hope to. Isn't there? Isn't the Gunk on Game Pass as well? Have I missed that out?
It's not on the list of things that are coming soon. I'm just looking at it now. I don't know. I thought it was on Game Pass, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Well, that's good. It's a busy month. There is so much to play, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. Yeah.
Excellent.
16th. Right. Quiz time, Paul. Take us there.
Right. Quiz time. Well, following on from last week's quiz, I thought I'd make my quiz this week all about fishing. Because, you've got as much chance of answering the questions as I had last week. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that.
I was ready for that.
What is, to the nearest pound, the record weight of the perch in the UK? Anyway, what I'm going to do is we'll follow the traditional kind of thing that you established, Gareth, where I've taken 5 games. I've taken 5 lines of dialogue from said games, and I will ask you to try and identify the game just from the dialogue. Does that sound acceptable?
Sounds great.
Excellent. Right. Well, since you're so keen, you can go first then, Gareth.
Brilliant.
So the first line is, "Get away from my food."
Get away from my food. We get one guess each, don't we?
You do get one guess each. You're first, then James to follow. This is for 5 points.
Bloodrayne.
No. Good guess, though. James, would you like to have a try with "Get away from my food"?
Get away from my food. Is it Call of Duty Modern Warfare?
It isn't. No. And that's not even a good guess. I can't lie. That's a rubbish guess. Right, James, your turn to go first then.
Yes.
The next line is, "I used to be the guy that solved problems, not caused them. We're going to get that son of a bitch."
Oh. I'm not sure. I'll just go something random like Crackdown 3.
No. Good guess, though. Gareth?
Max Payne 3.
No. Good guess, though. Right, Gareth, your turn to go first, and the line is, "Show me some flesh."
Show me some flesh. Duke Nukem.
No. Good guess, though. James?
Leisure Suit Larry.
No. Good guess, though. I can honestly say I've never played a Leisure Suit Larry game. But anyway.
Me neither.
Right. James, your turn next for 2 points. I'm the big man on campus now.
Bully.
No. Good guess, though.
I was going to say Bully, James. God.
Well, you could say Bully if you like, but I'll tell you now it'll be wrong.
I'm on that campus now. Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
No.
Why am I picking
Good
that?
guess.
You both hate those games. So anyway.
We do hate those games. So it's unlikely I would choose dialogue from a game like that. But anyway, right. Last question. 1 point. Gareth to go first. Everyone wanted a piece of me, and they weren't all the dead kind.
Dead Rising.
No. Very good guess, though.
Dead Rising 2.
No.
Dead Rising 3.
3.
Damn.
Unlucky, gentlemen. So it's 0-0.
Good, I like
Going
it.
into the next question. Right. James, your turn to go first.
Cool.
John, I need you to take a deep breath and find your balls. And when you find them, finish the effing job.
Oh. Again, I'm just going to Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
No. Good guess, though. Gareth.
No, Battlefield Bad Company.
No. Good guess, though. Right, Gareth, your turn to go first this time for 4 points. Captain, We Are the Wolves.
Destiny 2.
No. Good guess, though. James.
Can you read that one more time?
Captain, We Are the Wolves.
Division?
It was The Division.
Ooh,
Very well done,
James. Very good, James.
Excellent.
Yeah, Wolves. I gave it away.
Well done. The rest of the lines in that quiz were, don't worry, none of us want to be shot splicing cable. Then you're doing the wrong thing and you're going to die because of it. The men you are facing, they are here to do what no one else had the stones to do. And then the last one that you should have got it from, warning, you have disavowed the division and are marked as rogue. It was a bit of a giveaway. I had to give you one.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Well done, James.
Well
So
done,
you're
James.
winning 4-0. Right. It's Gareth's, is it?
No,
Gareth's
is
turn
it
to
mine?
go
Oh, yes,
first?
yeah.
James turns to go first. Right. Here we go. Am I the only one who can feel the crosshairs just about here? And I'm pointing at my forehead, but you can't see that.
Sniper Elite 4.
No. Good guess, though. Gareth.
Oh, no, that really rings a bell. Batman.
No.
There you go.
No, not Batman of any description.
Good.
So-
I think I guessed.
right,
That quick
Gareth,
question of our guesses.
your turn to go first this time for 4 points. You ever feel like you're dead, but no one told you?
I feel like you're dead, but no one told you. Have you won a Paul's game? Spec Ops: The Line.
No. Good guess, though. James?
Gears 5.
No. Good guess, though. Right, James, your turn to go first. You know what? Tell him I'm being a genius as fast as I can.
Gears 4.
I'm noticing a pattern here. No. Good guess, though. Gareth?
It better not be a Gears
Oh,
game,
no.
Paul. Say the line again.
You know what? Tell him I'm being a genius as fast as I can.
Destiny.
No. Good guess, though. Right, it's your turn to go first this time, Gareth, I believe, is it?
I think no idea.
Yes, I think it is, because James guessed first. Right, the line is, hey, check your aim, idiot.
Oh God!
I recognise it.
Battlefield Bad Company. I've said it twice already. I'll say it
No.
again.
Good guess, though.
Is it Halo 4?
It's not. Good guess, though. Right then, James, your turn to go first for 1 point. What? Do we have an echo here or something? Yeah, Prescott's back, my cousin's dead, and my father's alive. Film at 11.
It's going to irritate me, this.
Oh.
I know all the names. I know the... Oh, no, not a clue. I can't think of it. I know
Oh,
Is it
So
Aliens
we're gonna-
Fire Team?
it's not.
Oh.
Oh, dear. Do you remember when James went Gears 5,
Oh,
Gears
yes.
4? If he'd have carried on one more.
I can't believe you
it
did
was
it.
Gears 3.
I can't believe you were doing another Gears game. I thought he's not going to do another Gears game. You had one last
Well,
time.
you
I knew I
see,
recognised it.
it's reverse psychology, I think they call it, don't they? Right, here we go then. So, 4-0 to James. Your
James.
turn to start, Gareth. My pecs are laughing at you,
My text.
both in real life and in the game.
Yeah. My texts are laughing at you. I
My
have no idea.
pecs are laughing
I'm
at
just
you.
trying to think of your games. Destiny 2.
No.
I'm just going around the
No.
same 3 games.
Good guess, though. James.
Duke Nukem 3D?
No. Good guess, though. Right, this is a bit of a long one, James, so I hope you're ready for this. I know I should have got the sponsors set up ahead of time, but I was too busy suplexing a shark wearing a bolo tie. You're probably wondering who was wearing the bolo tie, me or the shark. Answer, yes.
I have no idea. You lost me at suplexing a shark.
Suplexing a shark wearing a bolo tie.
It's wrong, but crack down to me again.
No, it's not that. Gareth.
Is it Maneater?
It's not. No, there's no bolo ties in Maneater. Not the bit I played, anyway.
Okay.
Right. Gareth, your turn to go first. Stairs? No! Trying to get a bit of acting in there.
That's very good. I can't. Oh, that's really familiar. That one. Oh, Resident Evil. Something. Is it Resi Evil 3?
No. Good guess, though.
Damn.
James.
I don't think it's Resi. It's too silly to be Resi. I can't think. Let's go Gears 5.
No. Good guess, though. Right, James, your turn to go first. And the line is, she's got a gut full of dynamite and a booty like pow.
Bloodline.
No, I can't give it to you.
Oh, no.
Is it Borderlands 2?
It is. Well done, Gareth. 2 points for you.
That feels dirty. That feels wrong.
I was just waiting for him to go, is it Borderlands? Is he going to say it? No, it's not. Oh, dear.
Oh.
And then the last clue was going to be, I just bought a pony made of diamonds because I'm rich.
I wouldn't have got any.
Right then. So,
You win now.
four to James, 2 to Gareth. All to play for, gentlemen. And Gareth, you get to go first this time.
Ah.
I'm fine. I eat punks like these for breakfast.
What?
Is that your answer?
Destiny 2?
No. Good guess, though. James.
Prototype.
No. Good guess, though. Right, next one. James, your turn for 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
This old man looks like he's going to pee himself. Someone bring me a bucket.
Oh, is that your quote? I thought you were joking. Oh, Gary.
I can't see him, but, you know, it's a reasonable assumption.
No idea. Sleeping Goat.
No. Good guess, though. Gareth.
Got no idea. Resident Evil 3.
No, it's not Resident Evil 3. Right, Gareth, your turn to go first. That reminds me, I really need to get some new shoes.
They all sound like they're sent from the same game. All 5 of them.
I was going to say, that's kind of the idea of these 5. They are all from the same game.
I've got no idea. Battlefield 2.
No. Good guess, though. James.
Back for Blood.
Ooh.
No. That's a left field guess, but no.
It is, but you played it.
I have played it. That's very true. I have played many games in my time. Right, James, your turn to go first for 2 points. Is your mind playing tricks on you, or am I?
Oh. Batman. Arkham Asylum.
It is Batman
Well
Arkham
done.
Asylum.
Yes, it is.
Very well done,
Well done,
James.
James.
I picked the
Excellent.
right one there.
You did. I was waiting. Is he
Yeah.
just going to say Batman?
I thought about it.
Excellent. The last clue, which should have given it away, would have been you had to spoil everything, didn't you? Beating up Bane, feeding Scarecrow to Croc, slapping around Harley, my hobby, by the way, and ruining all my lovely venom plants. So, there we go. It's a James victory.
Well
6
done,
points
James.
to 2.
I think he
And,
should. I think he should have had
Congratulations.
8 points to
Gareth-
0. To be honest, here, I think I feel dirty
Gareth
for getting
will.
those 2 points.
No, well, he got it wrong. You have to take the consequences.
Yeah, that was a good, Paul. That was.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well,
Very good, Paul. Just can't get into your mind what games you're doing. I just haven't got the.
Well, it's mainly because the games you play don't have much dialogue, do they? There's not much walking simulator have a lot to say. So
Yours,
it's just the sound of footsteps.
all your games are like from an 80s action movie. They could all be for Lethal Weapon, all those quotes.
They could be, absolutely.
Really good, though, Paul. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
What are we looking forward to next week, you two? Paul. Not Paul first, James. Let's say James first of all.
just play more Game Pass games. With that many coming out, I'll give them all a go.
Yeah.
See what Aliens is like.
Yeah, it's not next week, but it's all right. It's in a couple of weeks' time.
Is it not?
No.
Well, save it for next week. My mum just said,
Yeah.
edit it, take it out.
Yeah, just cut that bit.
Cut that bit, okay. Now, I'm going to say mine first, because then Paul can say his, but I'm going to say Halo campaign's coming out next week. I'm getting my teeth pulled out as well. But I'm playing...
Are the two related?
No, I think
Yeah,
that's the only
exactly.
thing.
Halo.
Yeah, I'm going to play Halo. You two are not Halo fans, but I think it's been great. It's getting some nice little previews and stuff, so yeah, looking forward to it. Paul, what are you...
Well, I'm looking forward to not playing Halo, to be honest. I'm not a Halo guy, as you touched upon just then. I mean, for free on Game Pass, it's got to be like the bargain of the century. But it just doesn't excite me. I must be the only person in the world who's not played this multiplayer thing that's out now on for Halo, and it's just like, no. I played when I first bought my Xbox 360. I got ODST free with it, and I played 10 minutes and turned it off, and I've not played Halo again since.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not a fan. Beyond that, I'm just looking forward to another week at work trying to sort out cloud backups, which is lots and lots of fun, as you can imagine.
That's your Halo.
That's my Halo. Yeah.
Right,
Just be your
gentlemen.
Halo.
If we want to see you next, we will not see you. If we want to talk to you, where can we get you? Also, if you want to see them, just leave a little video.
Yeah, that comes with a fee.
Yeah,
It's paid
only
for.
fans. James, where are you? Which one? Where can we find you?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at OKidUKO.
Good. And Paul, where can we find you?
I am on the Twitter, and my handle is @XboxHubPaul.
And I'm on Twitter and Twitch at BBBridie, and look out for OnlyFans coming soon.
Oh, God. I've got a horrible mental
Oh,
image.
God, that'd be terrible. Right. Thank you, gentlemen, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to the official podcast of TheXboxHub.com. You'll be able to find all the notes of this show at www.TheXboxHub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub, and search for The Xbox Hub on Facebook.